I gotta play the game real quick. Sorry, you guys can do you, but I gotta play this game.
What game?
The fact that you asked means we are no longer friends.
I essentially just wanted you to promote your game, but okay.
Yeah,
Lies,
dude, what a
lies and
story.
lies and half truths. You know exactly what the game is. You tried to use it for clickbait earlier today, and I'm kind of PO'd. I'm PO'd and I'm TO'd. Happy Halloween, everybody!
Okay.
But I'm gonna go play
Sorry.
the game.
Play your game. We'll hang. Play your game. Look,
I'm done.
Is Stranger Things? We're listening to like remixes
It's
of
the
the theme now, huh?
C418 remix. It's the.
Is that a person or is it a computer
That's actually that
program?
Cassim. That's an AI. All right, you know who to ask
Okay,
for
got
that.
it.
It's an AI, and it's.
Welcome.
I coded it last night.
Everyone to the cream.
I think it's Beauty and the Beast. It might be Phantom of the Opera. That's a good guess. It could be Princess Bride, but I think it's Beauty and the Beast. I'm gonna mute.
To the
Would you let her
Cream
host?
Team Dream Stream Halloween edition, where we are
Whoa.
spooky, scary skeletons. And Kevin, speaking of the main skeleton, Kevin will be promoting his amazing the next
Tease the promotion. Tease the promotion.
the next Wordle, should I say, the next big thing. You want to be on the ground floor with this, okay?
Let's talk. We got to talk because I think
There's a
this
round
is
going on
great.
right now, and I think I
Okay,
don't
great.
know. I don't even know what it is. People are guessing what we do in the shadows, Downton Abbey, King Kong. It's all over the place. I have no clue what it is.
If you guys don't know what he's talking about, it's at PROMPTO game, and it's an AI game where you got to guess the image, what the image is. It happens every hour on the hour. That's why Kevin's a little scatterbrained at the moment. Fiona with a bold sort of claim of it being the next big thing, i.e. Wordle. Now, I really like this game, but we got to talk. We've got to give some fair criticism. We've got to give some fair criticism.
Okay, and what's that?
Well, first of all, the browser experience on my computer is just terrible. And it's not the game.
Why is it?
It's Twitter. It's Twitter's fault. It's not the game's fault.
Yeah, and if you were a friend, Cassim, and maybe showed up to Fiona's stream on Friday where I discussed this at length, you would know that we were just beta testing this on Twitter to see if there was any interest in the game. We know that it's not the best platform for it, but there were some advantages that came with launching it there. But what's really nice is that Fiona sets this space up and says, Kevin, my dear friend, please come on, promote the game that you've been just crushing yourself to make in the last 10 days. And instead of even talking about how much fun you had playing it this morning on your stream when your PC didn't work, but Twitter sure did, Cassim, instead of just remarking about how novel it is or how amazing it is that a small team of 3 got this up so quickly and what a novel experiment, you immediately break out the adamantium claws and the wax fangs on this Hallows Eve, and you sank your little vampiric teeth right into my jugular as you're opening cans to cook a meal. You disgust me, and I'm going to go back to PROMPTO game.
Well, I would agree with you if none of that was just absolute, complete, utter bullshit, because during my stream today, yes, I did have some PC trouble, but yeah, I played the hell out of this game.
Nobody's got this round correct. Let me just be clear. Nobody has got this round correct thus far. It might be McGruber. I'm thinking it's McGruber.
Some of those images are whack. They are absolutely whack, and that's when I'm having the most fun, is when the images are so goddamn out of left field.
Do you feel, oh God, what, I don't even know what this fifth clue is. It's a guy with glasses and a mustache. Now it's like making you think like it's a Doctor Who kind of thing. Someone got it correct. One person got this round correct thus far.
You know what is nice? We can just be on a Twitter space and be playing PROMPTO at the same time.
Well, it's done now.
I know. I'm over this game. This game is...
Elon Musk owns Twitter, and technically you're helping his platform, putting you on that political side of the political spectrum. I hope that's something that you're comfortable with.
I own Tesla. I own SpaceX. I own
Elon. You're here.
Elon, I have a few questions.
Thanks for telling us what you own.
Is Twitter. I think the reason for Twitter is PROMPTO. And if I had my druthers, I would use Starlink to make sure that everybody across the world could play PROMPTO, and they could play it from their Tesla. In fact,
that's a big endorsement.
I put gaming inside of the Teslas because I own Tesla. It's Tesla grunts. Ha ha ha. Starlink grounds Tesla.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Wow. And I didn't know
incredible.
Elon was even going to talk about it today because I asked him not to when I texted him because he's kind of
Right.
in a little hot water over some of his Twitter antics, but that was very kind of him to promote it.
I just,
Doing
you
more
know,
than my friend Cass. I'm sorry, Fiona. What was that?
Elon's just so confusing to me. He wants me to pay $20 to keep my verified status, and that's
Wait,
like,
is that really happening, or is that just a rumor?
yeah, dude. Yes.
All right, California
Yes,
Fiona Nova. Yeah,
dude.
dude. Yeah,
Like
right.
literally, dude. He is making us do this shit.
We have a lot to talk about. Is the Pronto game
You know,
over?
servers
Elon,
are expensive, and there's a lot of spam on the platform. So I have to charge $20, and if you can't afford it, quite frankly, you just don't matter. And
Quite frankly.
all the Tesla owners can afford it. And if you have Starlink, you get a discount. And I just think Prompto is the only thing that matters, and that's all. I used to Blake Wake, and I had sex with Grimes.
Okay.
Jeez,
Wow. I mean, that's a
Sounds like
lot of
that
hot
is there.
takes there.
bragging
Yeah.
about sleeping with Grimes, even
Dude,
at the
I
end
would.
there.
I mean, he's
You
got to
would
do what
too?
he's got
You
to
would
do.
It
do
makes
that?
sense. It makes
Actually,
sense.
no, it would be a secret. I would not publicly say that I had sex with Grimes.
Yeah, that's one of those ones you kind of like.
You
You
kinda
tell your
keep
best
it,
friend, and then
yeah.
you don't really make it a
You
public
don't want
thing.
it, yeah.
Well, hey, thank you for letting me promote the game. It's really nice. I appreciate it. If you guys want to talk about the creation of it in depth or anything, you can. I see Gavin and Andrew are here. They were part of the whole thing.
Yeah,
But
I
also,
know.
but we do also need to have a Cream Team Dream Stream, and I don't want to dominate this because I've certainly dominated the day with this silly little
No,
game.
this
So
is the beauty of our
yours.
stream, is that we get to kind of talk about whatever's happening in the moment, and we do it twice a week. And so if we want to throw one of our episodes away at like total shameless promotion,
Jesus
we can do that. Like,
Christ.
this is the episode for that. So let me go ahead and bring up Gavin Purcell, dear
Wow.
friend. Invite him to speak. I would love to hear him
you've
talk.
met Gavin, I think, one time. I don't know
Dear
that.
friend.
Okay.
He's probably one of my best friends. Like, sometimes people just, right away when you meet them that you're going to be friends with them forever. And like,
he's such a mover and a shaker, Fiona. It's really gross what's happened. I mean, I know I got on you for clickbaiting, and I just Cassim's like kind of drama farming fanboy out there.
That's right.
That just sees people as lily pads. He just sees people as lily pads to be left on.
Carano, these are the people I get behind.
Yeah, he's changed for sure.
I'm a streamer now. I don't have to care about anyone.
Right.
I love that Gina Carano as well, and but what I don't love is that Prompto. I think that tiny little happy me last name Cassie was actually right. It takes up the entire feed. It's a broken experience, and I think if you brought Prompto to Parlor, I think it'd be so much better. So let's get Prompto to Parlor in 2024. I'm voting for Kanye.
Wow, that
was a lot of information.
I'm in an unusual space, aren't I?
Gavin.
Yes, you are, Gavin. Yes, you are. Welcome
here you
to
are.
it. Introduce your friend, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I just want to say it's almost as if when these celebrity guests get going, it's hard for them to stop because they're on a delay. Yeah, and you hate to see it, but I don't think we'll be hearing from any of them anytime soon. But we do have a celeb in here. Also, Andrew, if you want to come up, feel free to request. He was the developer. But Gavin and I jammed on an NFT project earlier this year. We were both undoxed at the time, and then he revealed his identity, and I realized I don't care anymore. And so here we are, jamming again, and it's very refreshing that we got to put a project together in a week's time using machine learning and AI, and I can publicly talk about it without having crypto tomatoes lobbed at my forehead.
By the way, also, the other important thing for people who are in this space, Kevin and I go further back than that. As for, I don't know if anybody you know this in here, but I was the original showrunner of Attack the Show, the original Attack the Show, the old.
That's right. Yeah, Gavin was.
So it's been a problem for a long time.
Yes, it's been it's a long time problem.
Yeah, Gavin brought Clopston cheaters to the network. He was really the reason we had Women of the Web.
It's the smartest move they've ever made. Looking back.
Actually, do you know what the one thing I can claim responsibility for? There's actually two things that are pretty big. One was I was the first person to bring Ninja Warrior to the attention of G4, for better or for worse, because many people say that it took over the channel. But I had a blog called TV in Japan.
That's right.
Way back when, and I was looking at a bunch of Japanese TV. And so I brought that to the attention of the people at G4, and they ended up bringing it over, and then it became American Ninja Warrior, all that stuff. And also, my favorite thing that ever came to G4 that was my fault, that really was amazing, if anybody's ever seen it, There was an old show called Oh Mikey. It was a Japanese TV show that was mannequins. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was these mannequins that were of an English family that lived in Japan, and the whole show was mannequins. It was like a
They shot
sitcom of
just to
mannequins.
clarify, they shot it live action, so you would see the Mikey's family at the park, and like the swings are blowing in the breeze, but it's a family of like wide-eyed, smile, dead-eyed mannequins, just posed in a frame.
It's so
yeah,
good. It's so good. It's one of the best things. Google it, go check it out. But it's one of the glory days of mid 2000s Japanese television, which was truly, truly amazing space. But thank you so much for having me up here. I don't think I can ever say that I've been in a place called the Cream Stream before, so that's
well, you can't, you shouldn't publicly, even if you have.
It didn't. I mean, in college, you were probably a part of a few of them. You just didn't, you called it something else.
I guess that's probably true. I probably don't remember that very well, but you're probably right, Gavin. Yeah, this is exciting though. Also, Andrew should introduce himself as well. Our good friend as well. Andrew, go ahead and say hi.
I met Andrew.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. Welcome to the Spaces. Nice to meet you, sir. Great work on Prompto. I got to tell you, I had a lot of fun. Are you the real genius behind the whole thing, and the other two are just sort of like
Andrew for sure, 100%.
Yeah, obviously.
He's the Woz. Yeah, he's the Wozniak.
Yeah,
this is the real genius
for everything.
Well, can we talk about like where you guys were? Because I know the story here is that you guys were so quick from like idea to sort of product. Where were you? What was the goal? Like, did this kind of just like spring out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden you just called everyone you knew, or at least these two, and said, "We got to get cramming on this. Let's do it." Like, what was the process?
Gavin and I know a gentleman who was putting together an event in New York. Say again? Oh, sorry. Thought something got. You guys can hear me,
We know other gentlemen. We know other gentlemen besides you.
No, okay. I got confused there for a second. No, there was a gentleman who was putting together an event called Promptopia in New York, which was a gathering of AI and machine learning enthusiasts. And Gavin was invited to attend, and then our mutual friend asked me to present an idea. Oh no! And this is ironic.
What do we hear in there? Is that
Andrew is the tech guy who's now screaming that he can't hear anything, so that's good.
Oh no!
He's the one in charge of making sure the game doesn't crash and actually coding the thing, so that bodes well. He's probably grabbed a Geek Squad member by the collar and is shaking them over a rack of iPads right now. But
I used to be that Geek Squad member.
And you know what it's like to be throttled. Then you know what it's like to have a carrot in your face. But we were at this event and we got so inspired by all of the different tech and the upcoming changes that are going to happen to all sorts of creative pursuits and otherwise because of machine learning and AI. And I remember, rounding the corner. Andrew also worked with us and jammed with us on the NFT project. And I rounded the corner to the Airbnb that Gavin and I were staying in, and Andrew was on the corner hanging out. And if he wants to add further clarity there, that's fine. But I'll just say it
was stalking us pretty much, I think.
It could have been. But he's not here to defend himself now, so that's fine.
Did you guys sleep on the same bed?
I wouldn't say we slept on it.
I would like to know that too.
That was like straight.
No, this is fair and a good detail. No, we ideated together as you do, because
at an Airbnb?
At an Airbnb together, yeah. Because
sounds romantic, but anyway.
Well, let me ask you this: if you talk about the creative spark, how do you make a spark? You rub two sticks together very fast.
Right.
So we ideated all night long.
Got it.
Yeah.
Really hard. Lots of rubbing. Sparks were flying.
Business, dude. Business sounds.
Yeah, Gavin, do you want to take it from here now that I set up the stick rubbing?
Andrew is waving frantically for us to give it attention. So I'm gonna. Okay.
I'll bring him up.
Oh, and Andrew, I will follow you back. Sorry about that.
So listen, we were at our Airbnb. It was close to midnight. We had slices of pizza, and we were like, "What can we do? What do we want to do in this space? The space is going to move so fast. We were all feeling the excitement of it, and we were throwing around some pretty great and somewhat insane ideas. And we landed on basically this game. And in that moment, we thought, well, is this even possible? Can we play it? And we started poking at GPT-3, which is artificial intelligence or machine learning, however you want to distill it, we would ask it, hey, generate some clues, describe those clues. And we were just shocked at how funny and weird some of the descriptions were. So we took that, we put it into an image generator, and that night we were able to basically in real time play a bespoke game of Prompto. And we thought it was fun, and we thought it was cool, and we realized we could harness these tools to make thousands of prompts for us. And if Andrew could stitch it together, we were confident that we could make a weird brand and bring a world to life. And here we are, like a week and change later.
Okay, so that's so interesting. So it's not just when you play a game, the image isn't just created by AI, but the prompts themselves are also created by AI.
And the answers, they're all created by AI, which is one of the craziest things about it. Is like every single step of it is basically, it has AI involved with it, which is a pretty crazy thing. And the thing that I think we keep thinking about is the fact that, like, in 10 days we've essentially made what is a limitless game. You know, when you think about people who've made game shows before, there's all sorts of work that goes into clues and all this other stuff that can take a long time. And we could, you know, we definitely do some pruning on it, like to make sure that, you know, there's some we don't want to put out there, and there's some that are not that great. And obviously you're seeing there's a big wide mix of things, but really it's all done by the AI, and we could have 1,000 of them in, you know, 10 minutes if we wanted to, which is the craziest thing of all.
Wow, geez. It's almost like you guys didn't do any work. You just let the computer.
Andrew did a lot of work.
So
Kevin and I just basically ate pizza.
There's the video
it just
editing took a lot of work too.
I was going to say,
Andrew,
the roots that I grew, bringing Prompto to life, disagree with you, Gavin. And wow, we're going to have to take this one offline. Go ahead, Fiona.
It just seems like the more you guys talk, the more it seems like Andrew is just the one who made this entire thing. And you guys are just
very astute observation that I wish you weren't making right now. I wish you weren't.
We're using Kevin's credit card.
Okay, that's something.
That's right. I'm a producer. That's how production works. I do want to say, I think you're, despite, like, Andrew really did hack this together very quickly using a lot of like Google Sheets and, you know, twine and popsicle sticks. But I think, you know, we wanted to test out, can this work? Would it work? Would it resonate with people? And I think we're seeing quickly that people are having fun with it. But to Kasim, to your point, the platform is incredibly limiting, and it's not a fun experience to have to keep refreshing a thread, or, you know, miss a game, or wonder if there's a clue lost in limbo, or guessing it but feeling like you got it but you got a little bit late, so there's no like real points there.
Yeah,
and
well, I'm ultimately just pushing for, I think, the thing that you're just about to speak to, because that's ultimately how I really want to play the game.
That's right. So we're moving Prompto to OnlyFans. And Andrew, do you want to talk about that experience?
Yeah.
No, it's still private. So
now that's a platform I know what, like, I'm so dialed into that.
Right. And you have so many tokens to spare over there that I feel like once every category is foot stuff, or exactly. ASMR.
Yeah. The daily double will be won by me every time. There are no daily doubles, by the way, in this game. But
there are, but there should be. I think we very quickly have. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't speak for the other two that are involved that are on here. But like, what do you guys think? Like, I don't know. I would love to see it as an app with some lights and some sound and some music. I don't know.
For me, this was always like, how fast can we get it up and running, and without spending any money, and utilize an existing interface to see if people like it. Right? Because like usually with startups or with games, people build the whole thing, put it out there, and then nobody plays it, and then they're discouraged. So we just wanted to see if it was fun.
Yeah, my thing too is it's a kind of like, we wanted to be able to do something that felt kind of experimental with something we thought was going to work. But Kasim, to your point, I think we know that like the Twitter interface isn't great. The one thing Twitter does really have going for it is some significant social sharing action, and like that's a very cool thing to see people slowly pick up on it. Like,
well, to me, that's the best part. I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's the best part.
Is like today, for example.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, great. I responded to one of them as Street Fighter, because I was trying to get to it as quick as I could, and then I typoed it, right, and then Fiona saw my typo. And then she commented LOL, and then everyone that was following us playing this game was like having kind of fun, poking fun at me about the whole thing. And I think there's something to A, growing, but B, it is really cool to not be sort of in your own little game bubble, and for other people to sort of see it and participate.
the sub game for me is finding the worst replies and
that's a great idea. I
and
didn't think about
replying to
that.
them and
Oh, that's a
replying to
Twitter
them.
account right there.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
just reply. Well, I reply to them being like dumb, stupid. So
That
that's
feels
what
like
I've
it
been
needs an
doing.
award.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I'm just spitballing. I'm just trying to find things I can do other than playing the game. But yeah.
Well, one of
Oh,
the other things we
yes.
want
I
to
think
do
for
is
$20 a month, we can put that onto the Twitter.
Oh, Elon.
Yes.
Oh, it's crazy that you would just pop into our little spaces here. We're honored that
It's not that crazy. I think we're the #1 spaces happening right now on
Like
Twitter
right
HQ.
now,
And I
there's
do think that
like
is
70 people listening.
You know, what if a Twitter Blue feature for 20 measly dollars a month? I mean, it's really nothing when you think about it like that. What if you could play Prompto with a better experience? I feel like that's enough.
So what would that take in terms of like how soon could we? I mean, I think I don't know if you can build a social sort of piece of it into the app, but that would be really great. But is there a plan to get to an app?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a plan to get to an app. I think what we're trying to figure out, I mean, I think, obviously somebody mentioned Wordle before. Wordle really took off as a web app first, right? Like you could play on the web, and also there's a way to play asynchronously, which could be a kind of interesting too, in the way that you would play something like Draw Something, where you'd be able to do a turn, or you'd be able to do all 5 of your turns on your own and like compete based on how long it took you. That could be cool. The other thing I think we really want to do is do a Twitch stream of it, like, almost like a tournament champion style thing, which could be a fun thing. I don't think we would do it on your stream though, Kasim, but
no, we couldn't do it on mine.
More popular.
Jesus! No!
Are we?
I don't even have the computing power, as we've seen.
That was so cream of you, Gavin.
Dude, Gav, we need to get you a cream.
I enjoyed it, Kasim. I enjoyed your stream.
Let's get him a shirt.
It's like screaming here. He's screaming at home. He's screaming at the gym. He's screaming everywhere. He's a little creamy. This little cream team.
Wow, Arnie. All the celebrities are popping in to just talk about Prompto. Did you guys have to reach out to these celebrities for their endorsements, or were they did they just play the game and won it and they came to
That's
you?
where all of our money's gone. Our money is paying every single one of these people.
Right.
So many cameos just to get these voices.
Actually, that's not a terrible idea. We should think about a cameo. We should try to get a cameo endorsement. Who should we go for? Who would be a good Prompto cameo endorsement? That's my question.
Oh, there's so many, but speaking of that, I really like the promo video you guys put out today with your own AI guy. Does he have a name? What's his story? Did you give him a backstory? Are we
right
now
now
see
we're
more
calling
of him?
Yeah, he's called Prompto right now, so it's a very creative naming scenario. I have to shout out Kevin, who did an amazing job of creating all those videos. One of the things
I figured it out, Gavin. It's Professor Prompto.
Oh.
Okay,
wow.
I'm sorry. Elon crashed my whole shit. What did I miss? I come back and I hear Professor Prompto.
Yeah,
you haven't missed anything.
Professor
no good
Prompto.
ideas.
I don't think that was a good idea, but I would say if we were to it'd be so cool to interview, Mr. Prompto at some point.
That's a really fun idea. Cool? Also, we could try to figure out his name. We could ask people what his name is and see if we could try some sort of.
What about interviewing me, Terry Bollea? I think isn't that my real name?
Yeah, that's your real name.
Wait, that's Hulk Hogan now we're talking to? Terry
that's right.
Bollea?
Yeah, I'm all about playing Prompto. I'm all about being an American. I'm all about taking your vitamins, brother.
Wow.
That is definitely not Hulk Hogan. What happened, Hulk? Did you took too much testosterone? It sounds like.
That AI training isn't a good one.
Okay, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's going to be some lore. I know you guys have come up with some fake products. Well, I don't know if you want to even admit that they're fake, but you've come up with a lot of cool marketing. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
One of those videos posted today at 3:30, and it was one of our sponsors, because we were one of the very few games that, a lot of people said it couldn't be done the same way G4 went out and got Pizza Hut and got the Army on board pre-launch, which is a good time. I think they even had Dr. Pepper as well. Well, we got some sponsors. We were able to drum up some interest. We based it on some metrics. We thought there'd be 100,000+ concurrent players day one, just because of the brand recognition. And we were able to get sponsors like Hein Yeagle on board.
Wow.
Yeah, we got
the German company?
Yeah, we love I mean, Hein Yeagel's been around for decades. If you pretend you're a gamer, if you think you've ever touched an
I
A,
love
B, or
their
an X or a
raises.
Y, yeah, you got to know about
I
Hein Yeagle.
I
And
want
they
to come out of line here, but Hein Yeagle, I think, you know, sort of like much like Bayer, the company Bayer, was
Yes.
sort of involved with the Nazis, but they're kind of one of those companies that sort of evolved past it. You know, like sure, were they doing experiments on people during the Holocaust? But like that's really cool that you've gotten Hein Yeagle, who's now lost himself to that.
Hey,
kind
I
of
got to tell
dark
you, no
history.
one was complaining when they had efficient factories made out of tank parts. You could drop a console off a balcony and still enjoy a digital Hein Yeagle experience, and nobody
Correct.
complained.
No.
And
no,
now
no. Mhm.
you can play your Hein Yeagle on the go with the Gogamigo. So we were actually an exclusive. We did announce that the Gogamigo does in fact exist. You can play all the classic Hein Yeagle titles. If you want to see the video for that, it is at PROMPTO Game on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the IGN review of the Gogamigo to come out. Rumor has it that it's rivaling the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are saying the Steam announcement or steaming pile of, and I'm not going to finish the headline,
No,
but I
don't.
do
We
agree.
know.
I
We
do
know.
agree. Yeah.
Incredible. Well, that's really fun. Who was sort of behind those videos and getting those sponsors on board and putting the videos together?
It was Andrew. He really has done everything. Honestly, I didn't even know we were launching this thing until I got a text from him.
What were you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm drawing
Because
the
you
images, too.
didn't
I
reply
keep
to a
telling
single
them it's
text
AI.
for 2
That's
weeks.
good fucking question, Cass. Good question.
What were you doing, Cap? I understand.
What was the code
Gavin
you
was
kept
busy.
sending?
What is with
to
these gotcha
Andrew was
questions? When did the cream team become like hardball journalism? Why are you throwing all these curveballs my way?
We're
Okay.
hard on the ones we love because we want to make sure the product is it's solid, okay? And we disseminate it out
Kasim.
to our millions of followers. We want it
Kevin,
to be good. Yes, go ahead.
I
Gavin.
want to say something. Kevin, you told me this was going to be like an easy interview.
Yeah,
thought we were
I
coming
did.
on
I
here
said
to
they're
have fun.
I said they're
I
freaking
don't know
dum
why he would
dums.
lie
Ridiculous.
to you. I don't know why he would lie to
He
you
wants
like that. This
softballs.
is the hardest interview you'll ever have to do in your life because we're
I just
absolute
don't
idiots.
understand. I don't understand. We were supposed to come on here. You know, the cream team is supposed to be creaming on Prompto, and then we were going to just enjoy our day.
You're
Now
right.
Tell me about
what
it.
I can do.
We should be spending more of our time creaming on the product. Would you be okay if we just started stroking towards the direction of a sort of a creamy softball interview?
Yeah.
You know, once again, the lamestream media with their gotcha
Sarah
journalism,
Palin.
because I can see Prompto from my backyard. And don't you know, as a
Well-
grizzly mama, I expect better from the cream team. And
grizzly
I
mama.
will
Do?
not be supporting the cream team. I'm going to not follow on the Patreon, and I'm going to play Prompto. I'm Sarah Palin, by the way. Just a reminder, this is Sarah Palin. Drill, maybe
Super
drill. Prompto.
We just
And-
lost another supporter because of your politics, Fiona. Would you just tighten up?
Yeah,
just
when the
tighten it
cream
up?
team got woke, that's when I think they started to go broke.
Okay,
Dude.
listen. All I was doing was just asking questions. Is that so hard? Is that
I
so
like how you
wrong
have
of
guests
me?
that have to repeat their name 4 times so we know who
Yeah,
they are.
that's good.
also
No,
another...
I picked up on it. I do have a softball question for the Prompto team. What are the sort of like victories from today? What are things we're going to go back to the workshop, aka Andrew's going to go back and fix after the user experience? Everyone got a chance to play around with it today.
I think one thing that we've talked a lot about is expansion of different categories and trying to figure out ways to open the door to more categories. Because one of the cool things, like I was saying before, is that basically we can have kind of limitless categories and things. We wanted to make sure we had 5 or 6 that were really kind of solid ones before we launched, but we went and did some interesting stuff. Kevin just was exploring doing stuff with music lyrics, which was really fun. We've got one. I think one of the ones coming out pretty soon is one in a viral category, which is interesting and different, like something that's a little bit more pop culture-y. So I think that we're going to try to expand out there. You know, the other thing I think I'm not sure anybody here read our Medium piece, but like one of the big things we think about Prompto is it's going to be like a collection of these kind of. It's like this Prompto, this game is, we're going to take this game and try to make, you know, a larger experience out of this specific thing. But we also want to play with more small AI kind of interfaces and things we can do. That the coolest thing about all these tools is the mainstream. I think when I say that, I mean people that aren't like in the Stable Diffusion local on their own computers. The people who are out there just see this stuff for the first time. They're going to like a lot of it. And so I think part of our goal is just to kind of expose people to more of these things. So if we can do that in a way that like kind of opens the door and makes them feel like happy about it rather than like having a bad experience with it, or at least kind of weirds them out in a good way, I think it's a positive.
Yeah, for me, as a software engineer, after doing this, I'm not worried about AI taking my job. So this has been a great experience.
That's true. The only one that's safe here is Andrew.
Well,
actually,
well, look, I'd say you have 5 to 10 years. As we know, AI grows exponentially using the technology that's being built in the future to build upon itself. And sure, you may have a few years, Andrew, but it wouldn't kill you to start like knitting or doing something physical. Like
Yeah, learn how to like grow carrots or, desalinate water. I do want to say that I did, I felt similarly when we started this this little journey, and after trying to harangue AI into generating a certain type of imagery for me so that I could edit these videos and come up with these products, I feel like I've got a little bit longer than I thought, but it's coming for me. And I did just share an image to thecream.team, which if people are listening and don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of Prompto heads here tonight. By the way, we need a cool slang for that, like promptonauts or promptinators. But there's a lot of promptobismos here that might not know. The cream.team is the official Discord for the Cream Team. If you go to the cream.team, it will take you to said Discord. Just pipe it in your internet machine. I shared an image of what I thought was just a delightful, happy-go-lucky little blue robot. Because Gavin and I met a little while ago and we were ideating on who the host should be and what the tone should be and this, that, the other. And we kind of had to throw everything out the window very quickly because one of the AI tools that we're using to bring the host to life would not work with an image of a robot. And so we spent time like making this robot, and I loved it. I thought it was this cute little blue Pixar-ish kind of creature. I was like, this is going to be great. And we just had to very quickly pivot and throw it out and generate a host that would work with the service to bring it to life. But the fact that we were able to iterate so quickly and throw it out and get something new and give it a voice and make it happen, that's a testament to the tools. Like we're able to speed through creative in a way that you couldn't have a couple years ago. Just a Cream Team exclusive that I wanted to share.
Yeah,
that's
that's really cool. It's really been fun to watch you guys, like work on this so fast. And it seems like Kevin had, and you guys all had an idea one day, and then, whatever, 10 days later, here it is. Here's a product. I know on your last project, it was a lot of work, and it took quite a bit of energy and resources. And but I think what you guys learned from that really served you here. Do you guys think that there's skills there that you learned on the first go around together that paid off here?
I'll leap in and say yes. The short answer is yes. It was, like we all have issues with every aspect of the project, but we learned to get it out, get some feedback. I don't like the necessary adage of like break things and move quick, but like even I think Kasim, you learned from that as well, because I saw your soft launch today of the stream, and you could have waited until you had the right PC or the right settings or the right anything, but you decided to go live with a busted ass stream.
Absolutely.
That people, subscribed to and spent money on, and then you kind of just shut it down because you realized it was just sort of paled in comparison. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I would be embarrassed if I were you.
I'm gonna take these 500 subs and just kind of like, that's it for me. You know what I mean? Like I did.
I think an afternoon in Vegas, probably not even a whole night, just a couple hours. Even you could probably stop at Barstow and waste that subscriber money.
I could probably make it to Prim and go to Terrible Herps casino there and get some gas at that nice little gas station. I think that would be fun.
That's
Terrible
the world.
Herbs.
They've got like the most. Isn't it like the most pumps per capita? Isn't that what it says?
It's almost as big as the Boosies and the Buc-ee's.
I was just going to talk about Buc-ee's. Have you been to Buc-ee's, Kasim? That place is amazing.
I haven't, but I have Buc-ee's merch. That's how fucking out of my mind I am. Yeah.
Buc-ee's is this incredible place. So I shot a show in Texas a couple years ago, and you walk in. It's basically a rest stop, but you go in, and it's larger than a grocery store. And like they have their own homemade jerky, and it's just one of the most incredible places you'll ever see. And it's like 100 miles from anything else.
It's I haven't been to it, but I passed it because I lived in Austin for a little bit. And the place had I don't know, like 50 gas stations. Like I think that was the most insane thing I've seen in my life.
And they have Jello wrestling every Thursday.
Jello wrestling.
Bucky's Special. That's Bucky's
Yeah, right in
Special.
it. It's next to. It's right between the motor oil aisle and the breakfast cereals. They have a
Oh,
Jello
and the
wrestling night every
salmon.
Thursday.
Hell yeah.
They also
Yeah, and
sell fish.
the fresh salmon.
Awesome.
Yes.
To your point about learning from stuff we did before, I think one of the most interesting things about this space is, well, I shouldn't say this. I mean, we did stuff in obviously the NFT. I did stuff in the NFT space before, which is obviously has its own pluses and minuses. But one of the things that's great about that space is it teaches you how to learn about you really growing communities and doing things like this, which is a really cool thing. Like how to like talk to people and try to spread the word in an interesting way. It used to be a thing where you would just try to like, get something and put it out. Hopefully you'd get some attention on it. And now I think a lot of ways you can kind of do things as a group in an interesting way. And like, I think that's something that, when Kevin and I were on Attack back in the day, would have been really awesome to have like a Discord server. We had message boards, that's how old it was, but like to have Discord servers where you can chat back and forth and you can hear from people and get feedback right away. To me, that's like a massive advantage of this.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a huge bonus when you're launching something new. And also, like, I think just one of the things that Kevin mentioned too was the last thing we worked on took a while. And I think wanting to get something out and then get feedback on it and then improve on it, rather than try to spend all your time working on kind of crafting this thing and then putting it out. Like, to me, there's something really cool about the idea that you can take a small thing and evolve it in the direction that it organically is going to go, rather than like trying to create something big, hope that people get it, and if they don't get it, you're like, oh fuck, and you're like, well, we got to start over from scratch. The way Prompto is kind of designed is we can kind of see what works, you got to kind of run towards that direction, and then you kind of find yourself building upon that. So I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, do you guys have like a direction like that you think this thing might go? And if so, do you have like things prepared or like ideas for that, or are you guys only focused on just the basic sort of AI picture guessing game now? What's the like grand picture if you have one? I'm sure Kevin's thought about it. I mean, this has been all he's been thinking about it for a while now.
I mean, I think everybody would probably defer to Andrew on this one because he's the builder that came up with it and made it. This is awkward.
Sounds like I should just unfollow you and follow Andrew.
I mean, I'm realizing that now in real time as I'm trying to render these thoughts.
To give these guys a little bit of credit, it's like the ideas in a room with them come fast and furious, and that's part of what makes it so fun to like be like.
Andrew means his ideas. He's saying that we're in the room. He comes up with ideas so much faster.
Yes.
Because we're just so slow. It's impressive to him how quickly he can render thought.
And it's a confidence thing, They're just both just so slow.
When I wrestle at the playground, I've never felt stronger, and it was tough for those cops to wrestle me away. Let me tell you.
Wow.
The future of this, I think it's sort of the stuff that we've discussed. Like, look, in the immediate term, I want to try to like clean up the feeds. I want to try to make it clearer how to play the game for my poor mom, who was, I think, shouting the word goat at her phone this morning, but wasn't able to actually make a guess because she's never used Twitter. I think we want to clean that stuff up. Per Gavin's point, we want to get some new rounds of trivia and gameplay in there and mix that up. I think we can do some cool regional stuff. Because, when a lot of us go to bed, turns out there's a whole other world out there. And they have different movies and books and food and whatnot. So why not have some clues that are targeted? But there's no shortage of ideas. What's really going to be, I think, the trickiest part for us is picking that right path. Is like how much, with such a small team and limited resources, but feeling like I already feel pretty validated on the idea, even though it's day one and most of the players are here listening. It's very satisfying to see it in the wild and see people having fun with it. And their main concerns seem to be the platform, obviously. So that's validating for me. And so I think the three of us will have to really be targeted with our next steps in terms of, look, of course, we want to see it as a site and as an app and as a Discord bot and as all of the things. But we just have to be strategic with upgrading what's there versus making something new.
What do you guys see the trajectory at? Like, would you say Wordle is the thing, if you were going to like follow a trajectory of a sort of web-based game, would it be Wordle, or would it be like that other game that had that host that was that once a day thing? HQ, yeah, which burned so bright and so fast. And then like, do we have any sort of clue on how long it took for those things to grow into the things that by the time we ended up knowing who they were? Like, was there a marketing strategy, or was the product alone just so good that people just shared it and talked about it? And is that something you guys have thought about?
So I'm going to jump in here for a second.
Go ahead, Andrew.
So like in the gaming, like the online, like casual gaming space, like in the app world, like there's been a few different versions that have like gotten really hot. You had your Angry Birds in the early days, which was more single player, and that was like, oh my god, I can touch a screen and play a game. This is so cool. Then you moved into asynchronous gaming, right? The Words with Friends, Chess with Friends, all of those crazy word games, and that's still, people still play those games, which I think is kind of amazing. And then we kind of just moved back into this like weird bubble where their HQs popped up, and that was like super hot. But the idea of like a massively multiplayer game that's casual and fun, and like the entire world's playing at the same time, has always been appealing to me. But I do think that you need a single player version. And like I think Wordle, what they did really well was it was massively multiplayer because everybody got the same game all at once, and it was super simple. But they made that viral component where everybody could share it, and that is kind of the thing that I was like, oh, that's super smart because everybody's vain and wants to share their success, and so that was how do we combine all those things and make something fun and interesting and new. And the crypto space, for a little while I thought something could happen there. And I don't think it will, because crypto is too weird and slow, and it's not really designed for this. But this felt like, oh, this is really interesting. This can go somewhere. It could go a lot of places. But I think sort of honing in on the essence of like we need a multiplayer version and a single player version, I think is like where my head is at right now. But we're not going to try to. And I might be speaking for all of us for a second here, but like I don't think we're going to try and build everything all at once. I think let's see what people like, go in that direction, make it bigger, make it better, and then kind of see where it takes us. Or not.
I was going to say, the other thing I think that's important about HQ Trivia when you think about it is that it coalesced a bunch of people, like you said, Kasim, in one place at a certain time, but also they had prizes. And prizes are something we thought about too. Like, what does prizing look like, and how can we kind of drive people to want to play it in different ways? I think one of the things we wanted to do, the quote tweet, was like, there's one small prize, which is like fame, but in terms of like, I got it first. But then we want to also be able to track people who've participated. We want to be able to track people who have won versus, gotten the answer. What, like, probably a leaderboard of some sort as a starting point too, to something like. Part of that is kind of adding the competitive nature of people into this. But I think to Andrew's point, like these ideas of like these kind of casual multi player games, these massively multiplayer games that can happen on a casual platform is really cool. And then bringing all the AI tools into it just makes it so much easier to make each of them unique, each of the experiences unique. So I think about Draw Something a lot too. I don't remember Draw Something, but it was like just this massive phenomenon when it happened. And the same thing happened with HQ Trivia, and I think part of the key is how do you evolve them so that if it does hit, like, and I think the truth of the matter is we're here, 6 hours after it launches, and there's whatever 800 people following the handle right now. So it's let's hope that it hits in some form or another. But I think the key is just being able to evolve the game so that it doesn't get stuck in one thing. Both Draw Something and HQ Trivia kind of got stuck. And Wordle was just brilliant on its own and like kind of survived almost like a crossword puzzle ultimately. Like Wordle is like, I honestly think, a piece of gaming genius. Like there's a reason why that game has stuck around so long. Like it's almost like a Sudoku level of like stick with itness. Like it's going to be around forever. So it's definitely something we're thinking about. I think that the big thing is like, evolution and how does it change from here is kind of an important thing for all of us.
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are thinking about that stuff, because it seems like you can have a really successful game these days, but if you're not willing to like pivot quick or think about like how to expand it and keep it fresh without just selling it right away to the New York Times, or just like in the case of HQ, like Wordle, which is to me is a very sterile game. It's a great game. The core game is very well done and so simple and clean. But there's no personality to it. Then you have HQ, which had like way too much personality to it. And you know, I think you guys are in this sort of like fun little in between that will be fun to see how people respond to it. One question I had was, what's the most succinct way you guys have been able to explain what this is? Because I found myself on my stream, I didn't have trouble explaining what it was, but I felt like I could have done it in a more succinct way.
That's a good question. I haven't thought. Kevin, do you have a good way to describe this succinctly? I have no idea off the top of my head.
I've been telling people that it's a guessing game powered by AI. You know, think Pictionary or $10,000 pyramid, but your partner is a machine. It's a computer, and it knows exactly why it is describing what it's describing and why it's drawing what it's drawing, but you might not have the slightest clue until the round is over. It's not quite an elevator pitch unless it's a real tall building, but
we're going to the.
That's the best I could do. Yeah, exactly. It's the space elevator, and by the time you get to the moon, you'll explain what autoregressive language models are. It's fine.
The other way somebody described it was AI telephone, which I think is not a bad way to describe it either. You're basically trying to interpret what AI is telling you, right? So one of the things, and just so anybody who doesn't know exactly the basics of it is, AI it has a category. It created a list of answers. It takes those answers and through a script with GPT-3, it creates 6 clues in a specific script through GPT-3. Then those 6 clues are fed directly into Stable Diffusion, and the AI interprets those 6 clues. So if you look at our feed, the tweet that comes right before the winner's tweet actually has the prompts that were written by AI. So you'll get a sense of like how the AI has interpreted each of those things. And it makes sense if you see that, but the game is trying to figure out, as the images reveal, what did the AI think was being said here from the prompts that it wrote.
And as Gavin said earlier, that's one style of gameplay. We've using this system that Andrew has lovingly crafted, I think we can experiment with multiple types of gameplay, but again, it's all about releasing and getting some feedback. And it's weird to be having these conversations. It's wonderful and delightful to be having these conversations, but it's just so weird that a few days ago this didn't exist even as an idea. Right. And then, a little after that, it existed as an idea, but not as a practical thing. And now here we are, having launched it this morning and having no clue what the trajectory will be, if it grows at all, if Oprah picks it up as one of her favorite things this year, and we get that boost to take onto Shark Tank. I can tell you she's not. I looked in the green room. The best I could get is Kanye on short notice, but I think we might have to distance ourselves from him. Yeah, he is wearing Skechers, though. I can see that.
Kind of gone the other way.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. A little too green. But yeah, it's weird to be having these conversations, but it's delightful that we're having these conversations. And I just want to, I did not mean to commandeer tonight's stream with all Prompto chat, but I do appreciate the two of you for being so supportive and playing it and shouting it out and giving it attention. And everybody that's listening here, I see a lot of the faces that are around the Discord and that have backed
it's the only game
you
guys
I can
play on stream, by the way.
That's true.
It's the only game I can play.
It's that and Zort. I think you can handle a text adventure.
So if I wanted to play it, if I wanted to play it more than just on the hour, would that be the single player version that you're talking about?
100%.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in and say that the 24-hour stream that Fiona did, and I was watching that, watching that whole thing unfurl into chaos while we were trying to play the game live as a beta test on extremely short notice while it was crashing the whole time, kind of gave me all these ideas about we need to build a Twitch single player version where you could play a few rounds back to back.
Yeah,
and it's sort of like a solo queue, only because it's actually a perfectly designed game for a group to scream at, which has been entertaining to watch on Twitch and on Spaces and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out how do we do that in the upcoming version.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I was going to say that's something we've also talked a lot about is the You Don't Know Jack games, which I think that I've loved and I know Kevin loves, and I've played a ton of Quiplash or games like that, and I think one of the things that You Don't Know Jack games did, Cassim, to your point, is they brought those two kind of worlds together of pretty interesting gameplay, but also personality. And I think we're just giant fans of that kind of overall thing. And I think that more of that stuff
helps, that if you can kind of bring some personality into the aspect of it. I really do want to get a live version of this figured out somewhere, because even like watching two people face off live doing this would be super fun if you had two people like going head to head. So I think we've talked about some sort of, Prompto tournament of champions that we could set up as a Twitch stream. That might be an easy way to do stuff, even if it's like as simple as like, if we have to make it manual in a way just to kind of start it off. But I think there's a lot of interesting places we can take it pretty quickly, just because the material can come pretty fast.
Real time announcement. Sorry, Cass. This just happened in real time. You might have heard my cherry switches being furiously triggered in the background as I was typing, and realized that this tweet can wait. But Ben Tossell is someone who I reached out to privately in the space a while back, completely unrelated, before Prompto was even an idea. But Ben runs a newsletter. If you're interested in AI or machine learning, or you want to just kind of cry softly every morning with how fast everything is moving, and you just won't be able to believe what you're reading. Ben, his Twitter is Ben Tossell, BenTossell. He runs a newsletter called Ben's Bites, and it's a phenomenal digest. And I'm not just saying this because of what I'm about to announce. Like, again, I reached out to him privately to say, your newsletter's amazing. Thank you. It's awesome. I'd love to do a Twitter Spaces with you someday, because that's how I was feeling back then, and still would. His newsletter is amazing. It covers the scene really well. And as someone in the Cream team just pointed out, he's adding Prompto to his daily email tomorrow, which is for me a massive, it's a massive deal. I feel that's really, really, it's delightful. It's delightful that he's going to do that. I feel so great.
I think once a player base grows a little bit, and you just start seeing all the replies and like the interaction there, which we kind of saw a little bit today, but when there's more people, I think the back and forth socially will it might turn into something you really honestly had no idea it could be.
I agree.
Yeah, very excited for that. So where can we find that tomorrow? Like what to
people, and again, I want
to Twitter.
Yeah, Ben Tossell. You can sign up. It's Ben's Bites is the name of his AI machine learning newsletter. It's over at the Beehive. But if you search for Ben's Bites, you'll find it. And again, I just want to say a lot of people have been messaging me saying where do I start? This world is so wild and crazy. And it's true. There's a lot of nuttiness going on. My two recommendations are, of course, Ben's newsletter, because it's every day and he does a really good job of highlighting cool projects. I'm not biased from that because he's putting Prompto in there. I'm actually incredibly flattered by that, and it's amazing. But so there's that, and then there's 2-minute papers. Everybody, even if you don't know what AI or machine learning is, or you kind of have a passing understanding and feel like it's not that exciting, when you watch 2-minute papers on YouTube, the guy breaks down really complex white papers, like all the math and angles and algorithms that Google engineers and OpenAI are putting together. He breaks down these papers.
Stuff I never read.
That's right. Yeah, the stuff that's 18 pages and it's going to change your life in 5 years, but you don't really know quite why or how, and then suddenly it's there. He breaks down all of that and does a really good job of drawing on history to show you how quickly this space is progressing. So when he says, hey, look, Google has, and I tweeted one out the other day, Google has a new text to video algorithm. It's based off of their version of DALL-E. Imagine is their platform, but they have text to video, and they gave it the prompt, an elephant wearing a party hat walking underwater. And this thing generated a very, very competent looking approximation of exactly that. An elephant with its trunk swaying, walking underneath water with light reflecting on its gray elephant skin and the tusk moving around, and a party hat on the elephant's head. And it was just a single sentence, and the machine spat out this little animation. And that's just one of 100 examples that are in there. It's impressive on its own, but the 2-minute papers version shows you just how far along we were with that sort of machine learning, months ago. And it was not nearly that competent. So it gives you a real idea of what's going to happen in the very near future as these things improve at an astronomical exponential rate. So Ben's Bites and 2-minute papers. I yield my time to the distinguished creamies.
That's incredible. It really does. I kind of have this, Transcendent Man, the Ray Kurzweil documentary.
Yes.
I saw that many years ago, and I remember watching it and then just being like, oh, we're completely fucked. the technology is moving so fast. I mean, not necessarily fucked, but like there's a chance we get majorly fucked over. But what's happening with technology is it's unavoidable, and all we have to do is just kind of embrace it. And I can't wait to see like what happens just like a year from now, where like I wonder if we'll be looking back at this first version of Prompto and being like, that was like the wheel, you know. And now we have an electric car sort of thing. It's really fun. I think we should all.
The scary
play.
thing is that it was harder to get the Twitter API to work than it was to generate like a million of these prompts. Like I spent most of the time trying to get tweets to just go in order, and I was like,
I'll fix the problem. Don't worry, that's my Elon. I'd say we have 4 minutes until the next Prompto. Should we all try it together and maybe do it while we're on the space and sort of comment on it on real time?
I believe this is a special Prompto.
Ooh.
I gotta double check.
This is a
so
special
okay.
Gavin, it's not creamy specific, but
is this? Yeah, we had talked about. Well.
What?
Oh, whoops. You know, sometimes you forget. Sometimes you forget if you have a microphone unmuted or you don't know what's going on. Don't worry about that. Everything's fine. Don't look behind the curtain. Yes, we loaded a very special. Can I say? I'll say it's a. Can I say what kind of edition it is? What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we kind of talked about it before a little bit anyway. I shouldn't say it's not like it's very special in that this is like one of those very special specials. It's just a new category. You know,
what?
New category for us.
You confused me as to what it is. Yes, this is a new category, but this morning we had a discussion and I said, look, got the Cream Team Dream Stream from 5 to 6. I would love to hit with a little something special here. I don't remember who, I think, was it Andrew or was it Gavin who threw out? I don't want to spoil what the prompt is. But we're going to say this is a spoopy Prompto for the creamies. We did a special spoopy Prompto. It's not necessarily creamy related, but we wanted to throw one in for the creamies.
Maybe when the AI takes over in 5 years, they will know us as like one of their founding fathers in their trivia game, and they'll spare us from the human enslavement where they capture.
When the hollow muzzle of the laser pistol is pressed against the inside of your cheek, Kasim, they're going to remember that you played our game on your screen this morning.
Yes, I'm going to leave a digital trail of me interacting with it. The caveman version of it now, so they will know. Okay, so everyone, you guys should go. You can kind of like swipe down on the spaces if you don't know how this works. You can go and just use Twitter regularly. Just go to @prompt PROM as in Mary PTO game Prompto game, and in probably a minute and a half here, the first prompt will hit. And you guys should turn on notifications. I did, and it's been, even though I couldn't catch all of them today, I was able to go back through and kind of look at the prompts, which has been real fun, even if I couldn't participate.
I want to add that something that real quick before it drops, and I know it's dropping any second now, but you know, some people have brought some issues up, like, hey, if I follow a player and Prompto, my timeline can get spammed with the guesses that they're making, things like that. You know, we're going to do what we can to sort of fix those problems. My excitement and anxiety and fear over this thing exploding and those problems becoming massive is very, very real, but we're going to do what we can to sort of eliminate that so that people can sort of guess weapons free and not have to worry about gumming up people's timelines and whatnot. We'll try to fix that.
Yeah, that is sort of like an interesting problem. It's like a problem that being successful gives you, but then it also could hinder more success. So that's a unique issue that you're going to take as it comes, I'm guessing.
That's right. I'm just worried Balenciaga's going to drop me. I see.
Let's be clear that we are pre-success at this point too. So just
pre-money, pre-seed, pre-success. Is this? Did it post? Oh no,
I'm refreshing.
I think it's weird. And Andrew, not to take you to task publicly, but I do think the Amazon clock that you're using is like 30 seconds behind everybody's system clock.
Oh, here it goes.
It 100%.
Here it goes.
Yeah. Okay. I can't. Okay.
People.
Now I do. I want to be clear.
Jesus.
I'm not going to guess on this one. If you're following at Prompto Game, it's up. I'm not going to guess because this is one of the rare ones that I actually know what it is. And Andrew shaded me today because I've been guessing very publicly. I do not know what the answers are. I know what like the data set is, but I purposefully did not look at the answers because I didn't want to know what's happening. What are the guesses?
I forgot that it was a spoopy related one, and I just
put Pete Sampras.
Wait, what?
That kind of tracks. If Pete Sampras and Ronald Reagan had a scary love child, Fiona's guess of Weird Al is very good. It's not
Weird
it,
Al's
but
not
it's
bad.
very good.
Weird Al's
I like.
not bad.
A lot of people went with Drunkle Ted, and that's maybe we led the jury, or I guess we led the witness
100%.
a little bit
some
because
great
it's not
guesses here.
it's not that creamy.
Oh wait, I think I know.
John McEnroe, John Cena, Freddy Krueger. I can tell anybody who's playing and listening, it is not Drunkle Ted. I'm sorry. It's not that targeted.
What's fun about having notifications on is that I can look at all these replies and not have to worry about refreshing. I can stare at everyone's terrible answers and then get the notification that there's a new tweet up.
Someone guessed Hassan Abi and Lube Chef.
Correct.
I never thought I would see those two names so close together on a Twitter timeline.
Hassan because of the hair, right? That's why we think that.
I'm guessing so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
Should we? There is a small hint we could probably give, but I don't know if we need to give it yet.
I don't even have to give it yet.
Have gotten it. Oh my god! What the?
Now that's a good one.
What?
Oh no, I'm too late. I'm sure somebody said it before me.
You got Tom Hanks in very quick, but Prada is so fast at this. Prada has won 2 of these. I'm a little upset. I haven't won a single one of my own game yet, but a lot of people guessing Tom Hanks. But remember, again, the AI is interpreting clues
it might not
about the thing. So if it were the fifth clue, the fifth clue is always the reveal, basically. Like the fifth clue is the answer standalone as a prompt. So if this were the 5th image, I think everybody would be right to guess Tom Hanks.
Okay, I had to type it first, but I put David S. Pumpkins.
Oh.
If it's Spoopy and Tom Hanks.
Interesting. I'm seeing. Wait, what is this? Lots of Tom Hanks. Someone. Radmeyer guessed David S. Pumpkins as well. Forrest Gump. A lot of people guessing. Mr. Rogers guessed someone.
I put Beethoven.
It
could be David S. Pumpkins because he does have an orange jacket that he wears.
Now, interesting, Andrew. It's now. We did discover a bug today, by the way, that it should be tracking how many people have got it correct, and it does, but it sort of forgets the cumulative total of people that have. So there's been some people going like, "Hey, what's wrong? It said 5 people got it, and then 2 people got it." It's like, well, yes, we're aware. Appreciate the feedback.
The original version was showing that like 2 people got clue 1 and 3 people got clue 2, but we changed it at the last second, and I didn't fix it. So thanks for that.
Listen, Andrew gave a lot. A lot of positivity your way. I gave you credit for all the videos. I gave you credit for the entire idea. I feel like you could take the total number of people guessing bugs.
I'm sticking with
First
David
it
S.
was
Pumpkins.
the 30
I think I'm
seconds.
taking David S. Pumpkins to the bank.
But it does say that 0 so far have got it correctly.
Oh, it says 0. Oh shit.
But I don't, I don't want to call that out to Andrew.
No, let's just keep in mind that there are bugs in the code.
So maybe someone did get it right? Oh, someone guessed Woody. Jack Skellington.
Jack Skellington.
I mean, I did throw this in at the last second, so did I say something?
Oh, here he is hedging.
No, I didn't.
Wait, also, Kevin, by the way, I saw you in one tweet just write a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Okay, no, you're gaming your own game.
That's not, listen, first of all, I still haven't won a single damn round, so I'm not that good at it. Second of all, it takes you longer to do multiple guesses. So it is a cost-benefit analysis that I ran. Oh.
What is that? Oh, one player guessed it?
Someone guessed Tam Hanks. Damn
I don't
Hanks.
have the notification. Come on.
It's like basketball.
Oh no,
Oh,
they
it is
deleted it.
David S. Pumpkins. It is David S. Pumpkins. It's got to
He's
be me.
he's victory lapping.
Dude, it's gotta
If I'm
be
I'm
right,
Whoever Phil Felice is, I dropped a screen grab of it in the Cream
What?
Team. Phil Felice guessed Tam Hanks, which was a typo, and they deleted it, and I wish they would have left it up. Because that was my favorite thing ever. Tam Hanks. People are very
I was
upset.
such a slow typer too, and then I had to Google it. I had to be like, what was the name of Tom Hanks on SNL? And then I had to look at it, and then I had to make sure to put the period after the middle initial.
Did he
just
get
so I
it?
wouldn't get screwed.
No, somebody else got it.
Yeah.
Someone else got.
No.
Wow. No,
Oh,
someone
no.
else got it.
No. No.
Oh yeah, no, that's broken. Andrew, hey, listen, Cassim, this is the first time I think in software development that
What
this
the
has
fuck
happened.
is this?
Yeah, you ask Andrew. Ask Andrew. He's here right now. If he's so good, Andrew's the wizard.
604.
Hold on.
What time did I?
Let me look.
What time
Yeah,
did
what's
I-
going on, Andrew? Andrew, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I gotta see
Oh,
when
this
this was
is-
posted. We're gonna
says
have
it-
a real reveal here.
unbelievable.
We're gonna have a real reveal because Andrew.
This is unbelievable.
I do think someone was earlier before you, Cassim. I saw somebody.
Oh no, Cassim, don't
He
listen.
did
They're
get it.
gaslighting you.
Ouch. Ouch.
He did. Mine was 3 minutes. Let's see, mine was at 6:02. Mine was
It
at
shows-
6:02.
I'm telling you,
I need to see your because it's based on the tweet ID, which is the timestamp. So if your tweet ID, if you took too long, or your internet, or it's what Twitter says was first. So, it might be broken.
I think Andrew's hedging here, and you should stick him to it, Cassim. Don't let him nail him to the wall. Nail him to the fucking wall.
Black
It shows
metal something tweeted hit David S. Pumpkin. By the way, no period after the middle initial. Tweeted it at 6:04. Mine was at 6:02. Includes a middle initial with a period.
No, Cassim. Call me the choir. Keep preaching. No, preach.
So
if you want me to not delete this whole
when I
space,
did it, which might be why you didn't get it right.
Oh, unbelievable!
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Machine learning.
2 minutes.
Figure out, everybody.
Unbelievable.
Cassim, you were robbed. This is our game show scandal.
Rob,
That's it. You did say that there was going to be a scandal.
Here it is.
Oh my god! This tweet I will never delete. If I have to delete my entire Twitter account, I will make sure to archive this one tweet, print it out, mail it to Andrew.
Let's see, robbed. Looking for your tweet.
100% robbed. You hate to see
abdication. I want whoever did get the tweet to abdicate and to proclaim me the winner. That's the only way I will feel like I've been made whole here.
Are they on this space right now? If the fake winner, the stolen valor, just like our election, if the stolen winner is here, I would love nothing more than for them to request to speak so that we could bring them up so that you can rightfully give Cassim his audible crown. This is a travesty, Andrew.
Breaking news. You might be right.
Here's breaking news. There were 4 people before Cassim who got it.
Oh my god!
I'm looking at it.
Oh no, Cassim!
I can send this.
Okay.
I can send this to you right now as a direct message. I can send you the screenshot. I don't know if you can share it in the Discord.
And I lead the people who got the question in before the self-proclaimed winner. I am leading. I'm like
there is no greater threat to our democracy than a PROMPTO. We gotta audit these votes. We gotta audit the timestamps. We gotta send it to the cyber ninjas so that they can do their math and crunch it. I think it was stolen from my friend Cassim, and quite frankly, it's a mess. And I'm gonna go back to HQ on Parler.
I knew there was a reason I voted for that.
The one really hard part about this is everybody's replying in different ways, and so figuring out, is it an exact match? Is it loose? Do we count the periods? Do we count numbers or colons?
Let's just use grammar. Hey, how about we just use correct grammar and punctuation? Okay? Do you understand?
He's mad.
Listen.
Mad. He doesn't do well with rejection and losing.
Dennis,
I'm having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
Dennis Sakoski. I apologize, Dennis, if I'm brutally stomping on your name. It's BFS 211387 says acknowledge me with. He is listening to the Cream Team in real time. I can see that on a screen grab. He's got quite a lot of battery, full bars of service, and he says acknowledge me because he put David S. Pumpkins, he believes, before you, Cassim, at 8:02 p.m. He submitted it. This is tough. This is tough.
I accept him as the real winner. I wanted him to know that I stood for him, and I put myself in front of the picket line, staring down the barrel. Okay. The barrel of Prompto, which was just in full riot gear and guarding the Capitol, and I stared down the barrel to make sure that me and my 3 other friends who posted David S. Pumpkins could storm the quote-unquote capital of Prompto together. And here we are, proven right, validated, and I thank you very much. I also yield my time.
Great. Amazing.
We're looking at
Thank you for yielding your time, Kasim.
I don't know what to
I got to
say.
tell you, I do believe that listen, the election is important, that everything is fair, that there's no fraud whatsoever. I believe Relief Fraud Nation is going to come from Prompto. And it's time for the corporate fat cats to leave the building, and we should all just play Prompto.
Bernie. Wow. I donated.
It's me, Bernie Sanders. Yes, it's me, Bernie Sanders. That's right. You did guess my name correctly, but you did not guess the Prompto correctly. And I'm going to stop talking now. There's a delay.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, Bernie. Okay. I'm sorry. Bernie is, listen, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
I
left out in the
you guys
cold.
for having me on the stream. I actually got a jet, but I really appreciate you guys. And
Hey, come on, man. What are
awesome.
you talking about, Jack? What are you talking about, Jack? You didn't meet Jack.
Okay, thank you. That was Biden heard us talking about an old white guy, and he got jealous. I think it's okay.
What you talking about, Jack? Is that a catchphrase?
Bye,
I used to play Prompto with Corn Pop out by the pool. Come on, man. I'm cool. I played Prompto back in the when everything was sepia tone. Come on, Jack.
Just go to sleep, Joe.
Wow, that's tough. Yeah.
Andrew, thank you so much for coming and talking with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Good job on everything.
Fiona, you want to wrap us up?
Andrew with just a little parting shade on the way out. It's okay.
Yeah, well, but he's a creature now, so he's got to throw some shade.
Yeah, we all follow you, and we unfollow Kevin. So
Yeah,
you are our new Kevin.
You are our new Kevin.
I've been sent a photo by Gavin, and I don't know what I'm looking at here. Is it in a reverse chronological? I'm going to post it to thecream.team so that we can have a discussion about this later. But it does show, Cassim, it shows you at the very top as David S. Pumpkin, and then it shows Will and Dennis and Commander Taco and Radmeyer. Now, I don't know if that's a reverse sort. We got to check the timestamps. This is gross.
Yeah, something about this is not real.
Jeez. Okay. Well, I didn't know today was going to end in such a controversy, but I guess we're all winners because we got to play the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Guys.
Tell them when the next Cream stream is.
Yeah,
Patreon special. It's going to be either Friday or Thursday.
Okay, well, maybe you should just do it since you just did it.
Okay, you just heard me. We're going to come up. We're trying to lock down a guest for you guys for the Patreon dream stream. It's either going to be Thursday or Friday, so keep that open. And if you miss it, it'll
Sasha,
be recorded and
Malia,
put up on our...
leave the room. Michelle, you can stay.
Well,
I love that.
Ron's gonna be our special guest,
Cream
so I
Team
guess-
Dream Stream.
can you
And I love
confirm that you
Prompto. I'm
will be
sorry.
there?
I thought you would be done talking, and I left in there. So no more si se puede. It's going to be si se prompto. That's, once again, that's si se prompto.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that was great. All right, sorry, Fiona. I feel that I love you guys. Thanks so much.
All right, goodbye, everyone. Have a
Wait,
great
Fee,
Halloween.
Fee, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, she's got to hit the strip club now.
Oh, okay. What are you
Yeah,
dressing
she's
up
probably
as, Fee?
getting
Nothing.
You just go into the club?
She's going as a woman.
Natural?
Other women.
I'm going as
Oh,
I'm
that's
going
fair.
as a lesbian.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
Like Ms. Pac-Man, chomp, 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 boob.
Yeah, chomp chomp with a stack of ones. So see
Atta
you later,
girl.
guys.
Okay, you guys.
Okay, well,
Great Halloween.
that's a way to land the plane.
Have a great Halloween. Be safe. Be careful of the fentanyl in your candy.
Wow, that's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for making me
see you.
scared. Thank you.
Yeah, of
All right,
course.
everyone. Have a great holiday. Be
Si,
safe.
se, prompto. Thanks, everyone.